Assalamu alaikum everyone. Jummah Mubarak to my friends in North America. I wanted to talk about the benefits, the practical benefits of finding your inner light. Or if you already have found it, how to cultivate that inner light and make that light into a light that can light your dunya, your reality in this dark world we live in, these dark times we live in. Now, for a while now, I have been on my own journey, finding out about Islam, being reintroduced to Islam, and learning about many other different spiritual systems throughout the world. And then, alhamdulillah, finding the similarities, the golden string that ties them all together. Doing so, I was able to look at our spiritual practices that we do every day, from prayer to wudu to the things we're taught to do, like go to Kaaba and the 5 pillars and the books and all these different practices that the Sahabas and the Tabi'un and the prophets did in the past. And we do those same things. There's a difference. It's pretty obvious from the fruit of the tree, your life is, you are like a tree. Okay, you're the tree, you are the tree of life. Okay, you are the tree of life. Is the fruit your tree is producing, is it sweet or is it bitter? Is it fruitful? Is it beneficial to the environment? These are really practical concepts that we have not even talked about in a group setting, let alone individual setting. It's nobody's fault. But this kind of information is becoming more and more prevalent in our society. People are talking about an awakening. People are talking about all this, stuff, right? And when it stokes your curiosity, most of the things available out there on the internet, it's total fear-mongering. It's total it's still told by that same very childlike mindset. And finding your inner light. So here's what I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk about some metaphysical concepts, some quantum physics concepts. Now, when you were a child, or even if it doesn't matter how old you are now, I'm 41 years old, all right? And when I was a child, I had dreams. I had a vision of myself when I was 40 years old, when I was 30 years old, and I imagined, I didn't imagine, money around and girls and this and that. No, I just imagined peace. I imagined doing something I loved. That is the inner vision. That is inner light. That's literally divine light. Because how else can you see something in your mind? Even when you're a child. You can't. You see it in your mind because that light has been placed in you. And that light is your purpose, is the way in this dunya to manifest your reality. That light is given to you by the divine. And that is your route to producing a tree that bears amazing fruit. Because what's success? What's success? It's not only material wealth. See, we've been tricked into thinking it's only material wealth. It's not only material wealth. It's mindset. It's your body. It's your relationships. It's your expression. If you can't express it, then there's light, there's energy, very high energy. See, that energy is from the divine, right? That vision you have of an amazing life and doing what you love and pursuing your passions and cultivating your talent from within, practicing your craft. Practice, practice, practice. Make it become like a machine. Like literally your body is like a machine. And you control it with this, base programming. And you upgrade that programming. Like literally it's you can think of it that way. And these spiritual systems have been in these rituals, these tools have been in our spiritual systems individually, like in Islam and Christianity and Judaism, in Buddhism, in Hinduism, in Jainism, in Pablo Mayombo, in Santeria, in Catholicism, in every spiritual tradition. They have their esoteric, very, hidden kind of tools that aren't just given to the masses, but you have to be initiated into that system. And the initiation isn't just like one day, it's a combination of events that led you to your initiation. Maybe you heard this kind of talk before in the past, and now you're hearing it again from me. But see, how's that even happening metaphysically in this physical illusion, in this world, in this, vibration, in this frequency, in this dimension, whatever you want to call it, quantum physics, is happening in your mind. And to get a grip on this physical construct, there are blueprints that the masses, that the majority of the population of the earth has become programmed with that blueprint. And all I talk about, all I offer is showing you that blueprint. You can't see it in a piece of paper. You can see it in your mind, and you can transfer it to paper to see where like a map, like a treasure map. It's like a tree. It's a map of the tree, and it is tools to take you to different parts of your psyche to develop and cultivate that light within, so it can light with the true light your reality with the true light, with the with the divine light, Christ energy, with the newer, every different traditions have different thing, with the third eye, if you don't see it from the ego. Ego is separate. It's almost like it's a byproduct. It doesn't control you. It's emotion, it's fears, it's labels, which is amazing because you still need labels. I need a label. I have a label. I have an image I've cultivated, but that image wasn't based on my ego. That image was deep inside my mind that I covered it up with thoughts that I'm not good enough, with thoughts of, oh, I can't do this, with thoughts, or people are gonna laugh at me, with thoughts as, oh, my friends aren't gonna like me anymore, or I'm gonna fail and people are gonna laugh at me, or I'm gonna, I just want to keep it safe, You know, I just want to keep, secure and not rock the boat and not offend anybody. You know, with that mentality, all I was doing was suppressing my own self, my own high vibe that was inside me that needs to express itself. But when you suppress it, it's going to express in different ways. That's going to be self-sabotaging. It's going to go into your relationships and create, you know, conflict. You know, it's going to go into your it's gonna be replaced by, you know, bad eating habits, and pretty soon you're gonna be led by the instincts of your body, which is covered with parasites in your gut, and you know, your gut bacteria. You know, there's a relationship between them, the hormones produced in your gut bacteria. It's a direct correlation. Most of the hormones produced are in your gut. So if your gut is governed by horrible foods like, you know, sugars that create this horrible atmosphere, and the bacteria that react to it, they want you to eat more sugar so it can live. See, now you're going to be controlled by your gut, you know, by your lower feelings. You shouldn't be controlled by your gut. You should control your gut because it works for you. If you don't know that, by default, it's going to work against you. Because in our society, we do the easiest thing possible. And it's easy to just buy pre-made food. I understand. You know, I was raised on hot dogs. I was raised on hot dogs, and guess what? My arm looked like a freaking hot dog. Once someone told me that. My freaking arms looked like sausage links. You know, no definition. You know, I was maybe like, I don't know, 17, 18 years old, but I still remember that. You really are what you eat. Physically, mentally, spiritually. Because everything in this earth is a spiritual contract. When you eat a burger, no matter what it is, you're making a contract with the meat, where the meat was produced, the energy attached to the meat, the bread, everything. Because it's going to give you energy, right? It's going to give you something. And for that, it's going to cost you something too. And too many times, we do it with the cost of the health. Long term. It's not, you know, eating one burger, eating one hot, you know, bagel in the morning with cream cheese is not going to ruin anything. But if you do that every single day and it becomes your habit, and you need a bagel, you need coffee, you need a donut to function, then you have a problem. And people apparently these days don't want to hear any kind of criticism at all because they're so immature, you know, psychologically, that they don't want to, a lot of people, adults, I'm talking about 40 years old, 50 years old, you know, 30 years old, they're not really 30, 40, 50 years old. They're literally 12, 13, 14-year-old children. Like literally in an adult body, making adult decisions. That's it. That's the truth. It's time to grow up, you know. I'm saying it to myself, you know. It's time to grow up. Okay, I'm gonna grow up now. And, you know, it's not all love and light, you know. Love and light, love and light. It's like, dude, it's love and light. It's like, you can't just go to love and light. Because if you don't get your own light, then that light will be some other system, some other cult, you know, some other agenda that's not your light. See, with this whole love and light movement, it's not your light. It's a group mentality. It's a group think mentality. And you cannot, you have your own light. Each and every one of us has our own light. Now, yes, you can get some of my light. You can get some of this person's light as just, you know, just to give you, just to start your pilot light, you know? You have a pilot light. If it goes out, you need to light that pilot light and then keep that pilot light safe. That's what it is. It's just a pilot light. And I have more fuel, you know? If you want more fuel, I can give you more light. It's just a tool. But you're not going to ever be handicapped. See, a lot of these people, they handicap you by making you part of their system, making you part of their reality. So you're like, it's like a pyramid. You are underneath that person because that person is there with ego and everything. You know, it's not like teaching a person to fish. You know, give a man a fish, they'll eat for a day. Give them a fishing pole, you know, they'll eat forever. I'm telling you, teaching you how to make your own fishing pole. You can do whatever the hell you want. That's it. Teaching you how to make your own fishing pole. Now, if you want to catch fish, if you want to make other fishing poles, you know, for other people in a different situation, it's about self-cultivation. It's about personal development, self-mastery. What consciousness level are you doing it at? Now, if you understand what you are, frequency, energy, vibration, your consciousness, what is it? Where is the divine? Where is the creator? You know, how is it separate? Is there any other force but the one force? There's no other force. Because, you know, one of the, you know, like Allah has 99 names, for example, okay? They're attributes. They're just attributes. They're not names. They're attributes. You can't name infinity. You can't put a name or one label on infinity. You cannot. All the names belong to the one creator. That one creator is in our consciousness, in our imagination. See, if you can imagine it, that imagination, that vision, that is that creator. Now you align with that inner light and you get out of your own way, basically. You let go and let God, you know? I don't even like to use the word God because there's many gods. You know, people have God, that they have many idols, you know? They have people, they have maybe an institution to them as an idol. You know, it's a combination of idols. The government to them is an idol. Their parents to them is their God. You know, it's what they hold sacred in their physical illusion. You know, what part of their physical illusion do they hold sacred, and they will not give it up. You know, some people won't. Will you chew your finger off to save your hand? Some people are so scared of losing their finger, they'll lose their life. And that's where the fear comes from. Fear comes from the false illusionary attachment to this physical illusion, and to seem like you have no control over your life. You have no control over anything. You have ultimate control. From you is the control. Because when your mind is out of control and your thoughts are running you and your emotions are running you and your body is running you and it's going this way and that way and this, you know, it wants to feel like this and it just goes that way. It wants to, you know, watch porn or wants to watch movies all day long and binge watch, you know, dramas so it feels good and all its emotion is poured into that, not knowing it's being subconsciously programmed. You know, that becomes your reality. And just everyday walking life just becomes a mundane activity so you can get back into the state of your addiction, which might be TV or movies or porn or video games, you know, or even hanging out with friends. or it's always with somebody, right? Or eating something, or being in a group mentality where you're talking about sports and other bullshit that doesn't freaking matter, while you're going out of control, or you think your life is just coasting, but all it is, it's like you're becoming so rigid that you're holding on to all these things and your health is getting bad. You're going to start getting arthritis 10 years later. See, the thing that happens, it's very slow. See, that's the devil's main way to get you is fear. Fear of failure, fear of poverty, fear of being not liked, fear of losing friends, fear of just fear of identity loss, even though that identity maybe you attached onto at age 10 or 11 or 12 or in college, but now you're 50 years old. Why are you still holding on to that identity? Because it's a fear of not having to do without it. And then what's going to replace it? There's a way out. There's really a blueprint to understanding what you're seeing, because it's a reflection. What you see out here is just a reflection. And you can decode that reflection. Reflection has a frequency. Each color that you see in your reality, in your dunya, in your life. Isn't it true that in the Quran it says not even a leaf falls without Allah knowing it? Not even a leaf falls. Nothing happens. Not even anything small. It's like, the thing is, anything that is in your frame of vision, it's in your mind. I know it's going to sound weird, but you've projected it out. And if you can decode what you're projecting out, you can see where you're not aligned. And if you see, for example, a lot of, this is where I'm getting into, like, the, superstition kind of stuff, like people in the past. If you see these things, it's bad luck and omens and whatnot, there's many lies to that. There's many truths to that. If you see certain colors in your life all the time, that means something. When certain numbers pop up around you, it's synchronicity. Things are lining up. You might be thinking about, I'll just tell you practical examples. Today I was thinking about Detroit, and I was talking about Detroit with somebody, and then, 5 minutes later, somebody's wearing, like, a shirt, and it says Detroit Steel on it, Detroit Steel Union, and this is in Southern California. What the hell is a person wearing Detroit Steel Workers Union shirt on? But it's not, see, in the past I'd be like, oh, that's just a coincidence. Well, no, nothing is coincidence. There's no luck. Stop freaking saying good luck. There's no luck. There's no luck. Everything is pre-planned, but you can read it. And if you are at a low consciousness level and you are not aware of these things, then to you, it's just going to be random. But see, as you raise your awareness by not drift with thoughts of fear, not start drifting in worry, not start drifting in looking at your past and thinking how the best part of you has gone, your youth is gone now, and oh, you're just helpless. No, that is a sign that you are going the wrong way. You want the divine to give you a sign? That's a sign. And you can catch yourself. You can always change. It's little things. It's very little things done in a consistent manner, done with intention. These things put into your routine as actually like a preemptive subconscious plant. This is like MK Ultra stuff. You plant things to your subconscious mind, but you teach it what it is. And then pretty soon, your subconscious action, it's going to be leveled up. So when you're going to be walking with formation, with perfect form, and you're going to get all the energy from all the different movements you do, you know? I mean, I don't know. It's like, why am I? It's just breathing. It's breath. Your breath is oxygen. You have to oxygenate your body, so it feeds the organs. You know, oxygen carries other molecules and different things to different parts of your body, all over your body, the circulatory system, your blood. You know, it's life. It's like chi energy, you know, and it's real. And it's about time us in our ummah and our Islamic communities, we start talking about these things, because there's a direct correlation that's not being acknowledged. And as much as people want to change, if you don't get to the core of ourself and how we are, you know, in this illusion, and there is a blueprint, and it's not haram, and it's not bidah, it's just a different understanding to see past the illusion with the nur of Allah. There's tools, there's procedures, there's blueprints that can get you aligned. And it starts with your mind, it starts with your emotion. It's a conglomeration of all these things. You can't just do one thing and not do the rest of the stuff. It's like different things squished into oneness. You have to do it all. You have to start changing your diet. You have to change your mindset. You have to change your routines. All these things. It's difficult to do. It is. That's why a coach is required. That is why someone that has been through that route can give you tools, can give you insights. Not to say you have to do it this way, you must do this, you must do that. No, this is what I did. This is why I did this. This is what happened to me. And these are the tools that I used. You should try them out too. Yes, it might not taste good. Yeah, okay, apple cider vinegar doesn't smell good. That's going to make you feel good. The thing that's not liking that smell is that nafs that doesn't want to change. See, it's not you that doesn't like it. You can learn to love it because Allah placed it in you to utilize, to literally get you out of that situation. Everything's a stepping stone. And that's what I show you. These are the tools that I put in front of you for you to use in your own life in whatever way you want. And that, my friends, is the initiation. That is the initiation. See, literally, when you hire somebody, you're making a contract with them. Just like when you hire a CPA, all right? When you hire a CPA to do your payroll, you're making a contract because you're going to pay that consultant, right? You're going to pay that accountant, that CPA, their fees, what they want. Not like, hey, I want to pay you this much. Is that fine? No, it's like, no, this person charges this much. Why do they charge this much? Because they have a track record. They have the proof. They are the proof themselves. See, that's initiation, because in this day and age, energy is money, because you give your life blood, your life force energy, your sense of security to a career that you have, a job that you go to, and they pay you X amount of money for your time. That becomes your energy. And to part from that, to put into yourself, to improve yourself, that is what the nafs does not want you to do. When you do that, when you actually pay someone for a service, especially for personal development, life coaching, transformation coaching, whatever you want to call it, it's going to say, no, you can't afford it. Oh, no, this is a bunch of crap. You can do it yourself. You're fine. You're not unhealthy. He's just, he's misguided, It's going to say anything and everything for you to ignore what I'm saying to you. And other people too that talk this kind of talk. I was like that at one point. I would never watch, like my sister would send me a Tony Robbins video, and I listened to a little bit of it, and I wouldn't want to watch it. Not because it's annoying sound or this, not. I'm like, God, this guy is so, this is a bunch of crap. It's not true, because I hated myself. I hated myself, and I didn't want to hear anybody telling me to not hate myself or to improve myself, level up. And it came a point where it just, too many times it got introduced to me, and I just said to my ego, like, you know what, I'm going to listen to this person. And that took me on another journey, that really changed me. And I did that. That story, multiply that by 1,000, I had that many ego deaths. So many ego deaths. Because it's the ultimate deceiver. Your nafs is the ultimate deceiver. It doesn't want to die. See, it is attached to the physical illusion. It is part of the dunya. It is part of the, my body is just a bunch of, matter, right? I mean, what is matter? It's just a bunch of atoms and electrons and magnets, magnetic field, polarities and whatnot. But, just for the sake of argument, let's just say my body is just, meat and blood and water, and it's going to be part of the earth. That's not me. But that's the part of me that wants, that doesn't want to change. That's the nafs, because it's attached to the form, which is the illusion, which is part of the illusion anyways. So you have to, it's almost like you have to have an ego death, and by having the ego death, the ego becomes it just becomes a vessel, and it's going to listen to you because you command it in the light of Allah, in the light of the divine, not in its own version of what it should be. Okay, everyone, I just wanted to make this a quick video, and it became longer than I anticipated. I really like these talks. I really enjoy talking about this, and I would love for some feedback. And if any one of you would like to talk to me about your life, about, some issues that are happening in your life that you want to overcome, I am offering a free 1-hour consultation. And, I'll give you some practical tools in that 1-hour session, inshallah, that you can take it or leave it. But I guarantee you, if you implement it, it's gonna help. And that's just give you a taste. If you decide to get my services, it's a different level, all right? Different level kind of mindset. And you really have to be ready for that. So please comment. Please have some discussion. I want to hear from you. And give me some feedback, okay? All right, Assalamu alaikum. And remember, you are created from the divine. So you tell me, did the divine make a mistake? Did the divine create junk? Did the divine, just create you to exist mundanely? When you had all these visions in your mind when you were a child, this great person you're going to be and these things you're going to do, you can still do it. Okay? All right, assalamu alaikum.